Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm currently on the way to the grocery store because I'm about to sit reserve for the first time in like over a year for the next 5 days. So I need to get some food to take with me so I don't spend my entire life savings on food in the airport because it's so expensive. So I'm about to go pick out some snacks and some stuff I can use for meals for the next 5 days. I sound disgusting. I know, I've been battling like sinus stuff for the last probably 4 days. Yesterday I felt awful, like my nose was so stopped up. My throat was sore from coughing so much. Today I actually feel a lot better. I still just sound really gross. I honestly was thinking about calling out sick yesterday because I just had no motivation to get off the couch and do anything. That was how like gross I felt. But I feel good today. I think I'm on the recovery side of this sinus infection or whatever I had going on. So yeah, I'm gonna go grab some snacks and then I have about an hour till I'll have to leave to head to the airport. I don't actually go on call or anything till tomorrow, but all the flights were full. My original plan was to go like bid for a really late sign-in for tomorrow and then just fly out tomorrow morning, but everything is sold tomorrow. Things are sold today, so I don't even know if I'm gonna get on a plane and get back to base tonight. Hopefully I do, but I figured I might as well try today so that if I do get in, like at least I'm there, and if not, I can just keep rolling over to the flights tomorrow and I'd have a better chance of getting on tomorrow than not rolling over. Okay, so my parents had this already in their house, so I'm cooking that. That'll probably be my dinner for like 3 nights, I would guess. I'm gonna do some turkey, lettuce, and cheese roll-ups probably for some lunch stuff a couple days. I have some yogurt, some string cheese, RX bars. I bought those little almond butter packets, some different type of snack stuff. I have some crackers that I can pull a couple of those out, and then I got some carrots and then the ranch dipping things, and that should be good for 5 days. I can get dinner or something if I need to 1 or 2 nights in the airport, but that's gonna be my meal prep for this one. I didn't really cook much. Okay, so while that is cooking, these are all the trips that say open or what I can bid for tomorrow. They're gonna use a reserve to fill these, or if a line holder bids for them, then they would use the line holder. So what I'm gonna do is bid for all. This is the sign-in times right here. I'm gonna do all sign-ins that are kind of late, just in case I don't get back today, so that I can try to get back tomorrow. So I'm just gonna click right here because this will bid for any position I can do, where I would only bid position 1 or whatever, but I'm not gonna be picky since I might not get back today. So let's see, oops. But you can go down and see like what the trip is. So this Fort Lauderdale, San Francisco, let's see. So the first day is 1 leg, you have a 12-hour layover. Second day is 2 legs, 10-hour layover, and then, so it's not really a great trip, but it signs in late, so I'm gonna bid for it. So bidding closes at 3, and then bids can come out anywhere from like 3:30 to like late at night. It just depends on how quickly it runs. Before furlough, it used to come out like right around 3:30, 3:45. Lately, I've heard it's like kind of all over the place. Like sometimes it's 3:30, sometimes it's like 5:45. So we'll see what I get for tomorrow later this afternoon. So I did not get on that flight, my first flight, so I had to get rolled over to the next one, which is the only other option for today. That one's gonna board in like a little over an hour, so I'm just gonna hang out. Fingers crossed I can get on that one, and then fingers double crossed that I can jump seat from Charlotte to Philly, and that I'm not stuck in Charlotte overnight. We'll see. So I made it to Philly. I really was not sure I was gonna get out of GSP at one point, because the flight that they rolled me over to was the last flight going to Charlotte out of GSP, and when they rolled me over to it, there was only 1 seat open, and there were some revenue standbys, and I can't jump seat on that plane, so I really thought that I was gonna be stuck in Greenville and having to fly back tomorrow. And while I was waiting to get on the Greenville flight, my bids or my assignment came back for tomorrow, and I'm on Rep A, which just means that I'm on call from 2 a.m. to 2 p.m. So I had to be here, which stinks because I don't remember how many I put, but you just saw like I bid for what was like 7 trips. I all signed in after 2, and then it gave me any one of those. So yeah, I was having a little panic moment for a minute. I mean, I was really far down on the call out list, so I think it will be fine. I don't know if I'll get used tomorrow or not, but I'm just glad to be here. But my flight, once I got on the flight from Greenville to Charlotte, it was delayed. Air traffic control delayed it, I guess, because of traffic coming into Charlotte. So we landed, and then we sat on the taxi, or on the runway for like, or the tarmac, I guess is what we call it now, but we sat on that for probably 20 minutes, and I was just watching the clock like tick by because my connecting flight to get to Philly was within like 30 minutes. So by the time I got off the plane, they were already boarding for that flight, and I can see the list, and that was like the only flight out of Charlotte I was probably going to be able to get on because I was high enough on the list. All the other ones, there were a bunch of higher priority list people that were listed. So I don't know if I would have gotten on either of those, but for some reason it didn't list me as a jump seater. So they had ended up giving someone after me the jump seat. So I was freaking out that they were gonna not get me on because there were not enough seats, but then out of nowhere some seats opened up. So everybody that was listed got on and it was fine. I was like kind of freaking out. I was like running from Terminal E in Charlotte all the way to D to try to get on this flight. But we made it, and I'm about to wash my face. I'm in the bathroom. I'm gonna wash my face, brush my teeth, and then go unwind in the crew room. And I'll show you guys what the crew room looks like, because a couple of you guys have asked like what I'm talking about when I talk about the crew sleep room. So I'll show you guys kind of what that setup is after I finish washing my face. So when I talk about the crew room or the sleep room, this is what I'm referring to. So the one I'm in is small. It's only got 4 recliners in it. And then there's a room next door that looks the exact same as this for the flight attendants. And then there's 2 that are for the pilots. So you can actually shut the door, which is nice because our other crew room is a lot bigger. Quiet room is what they call it. And there's like probably 20 of these recliners, but that crew room has a lot more traffic. So it's just always really loud in there. But I bring 1 blanket to use as a pillow and 1 to sleep with because I freeze in here. But charge all my stuff, cut the lights off. It gets really dark. Here, I'll show you. So it's actually kind of dark. The other crew room, there's no door, so it stays kind of bright throughout the night. So that's why I come to this one. And usually I have this room all to myself, so not bad. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. I haven't been called yet. I didn't sleep very good last night, I think because I was freaking out that I was gonna miss a call from crew scheduling. So I haven't been on reserve in over a year, so I feel like that like sense of panic that you're gonna do something wrong is like coming back to me. But I'm just kind of walking around the airport right now. Gonna get out of the crew room for a little while since that's gonna be my home this month. They've actually used a good bit of people today. I was originally number 50 on the list, and now I'm number 31, so they've already used almost 20 people. So I don't think I'm gonna get used today, but there's still a lot of time left, so I might. We'll see. So it is after 2 o'clock, so my 12 hours of being on call are officially done for today. While I was sitting in the airport bored to death, I decided that I'm gonna go fly home today. So I'm about to get on a flight that goes home, and then I also listed for a flight just in case they give me something early tomorrow where I can turn right around and come right back. But I bid for everything that signs in after like 10 a.m. So fingers crossed that when I land in Greenville, they gave me something late so that I can sleep in my own bed tonight. But I did book that other flight just in case I needed a backup plan and needed to get back tonight. But I'm hoping and praying I can just stay home and do something that signs in late tomorrow. So when I landed in Greenville, I checked my phone and they gave me wrap A again, which is what I was on today, which is being on call from 2 a.m. to 2 p.m. And I was starting to get annoyed because I was looking at the list and people junior to me were getting stuff that I bid for. And so I was like, what's going on? That's not supposed to happen. And I was like, I even bid for standby. Like, nobody bids for standby. And they had assigned standbys to everybody. So I'm like, why would they not give it to me when I bid for it? I don't know. I was like on a whole level. I was starting to get upset. And so I texted my friend, was like, what is going on with all this? Well, turns out that I was bidding wrong. So that was user error. I guess that year off of reserve did some damage to me. So yeah, I was like freaking out, like getting mad at rescheduling, and then it was my fault. So, you know, you learn from your mistakes, you move on. But then I'm like, great, now I'm gonna have to turn right back around and go home. But I was like, let me look at the list, see where I am. I was number 52 on the list. I was number 50 today, and they didn't even get close to using me. So I was like, whatever, I'm gonna stay home. I'll fly back in the morning. And I was like, I'll put in a bid so that they don't call me unless it's for a trip that's signs in after like 10 or something, just to kind of cover my butt in case I'm flying and they're trying to call me or whatever. So there was a trip in open time when I got on to put in my bid or whatever, and it was assigned in at 9:45. And the first flight out of Greenville tomorrow gets into Philly at 8. So I was like, all right, let me just go ahead and bid for that. And then they gave it to me like 5 minutes later. So I have a trip tomorrow at 9, signs at 9:45 tomorrow. It's a 3-day, and it's a 32-hour layover in Minneapolis. I know that there's some crazy stuff going on in Minneapolis right now. So we'll see the area where I'm at, if it's, you know, safe to go out and do stuff. Guys, my shoe broke. It's not like super noticeable, but it just sounds a little janky when I walk on like different surfaces because it's like the metal nail or whatever hitting the ground. So yeah, I'm gonna have to see if I can get some new ones and just chuck these. But they lasted me for, this is year 3, so they lasted me since I started. So at least they served their purpose. This day, oh my goodness. First my shoe breaks, and then I get to Philly and everything looks like it's gonna be going fine. Our first 2 flights were great, and then we get to Chicago and all of a sudden our flight's delayed, and we're like, what is going on? And we're trying to figure out if we're gonna go illegal because it was delayed by like 2 hours or something. So we were already at like a 12-hour duty day. And so I think I told you guys in one video that our max duty day was 13 hours and 15 minutes, but that's actually not right. So our max duty day is 15 hours. So we were like doing the math, trying to figure out when the door needed to be closed on that flight before we'd go illegal. And it was a mess. So anyways, we board and everything. We ended up working the flight and we land, and then trying to get to this hotel was like a cluster. It was crazy. We had to go getting out of the airport was ridiculous. And then we had to get on the shuttle that took us like around to the other side of the airport, and then we had to go back in through the airport and then go to another shuttle stop. I mean, it was a whole thing. It took us like 40 minutes to get out of the airport, and then the drive was like 20 minutes here. It is 11:53 local time, which means it's nearly 1 o'clock my time, and I got up this morning at 4:30. So I'm so tired. Here's my views. We are in the middle of the city. We're very high up also. So it's 11:30 in the morning. I slept in this morning until I think like 9:15, 9:30. It was so nice not having to set an alarm, being able to sleep in a bed, not having to worry about crew scheduling calling me for anything. So nice. So I woke up, took a shower, got ready, and then was trying to think of what I wanted to do today, and I'm like really craving pancakes. I don't know why. So I'm gonna go downstairs, see if there's anywhere around here that's still open for breakfast or brunch or whatever, and see if I can get some pancakes. And then I think I might try to go to the Mall of America. I don't know, we're gonna see, because no one on my crew wants to do anything, so it's just gonna be me like lone riding it today. So I just need to make sure that if I do try to go over to the Mall of America, I'll have to take public transportation. So I just want to make sure that that's like safe right now, that I won't have to worry about anything with that. It's unfortunate that no one on my crew wants to do anything. I mean, we literally have 30 hours, so I can't sit in the room that long, but you know, sometimes it happens on reserve because you're getting flown with people that have been flying for 10, 20 years. Because you're just getting put on trips that people are calling out of. So usually on a line, you're put with people who are more around your seniority. So a lot of times people end up wanting to do stuff with you, but on reserve, it's very hit or miss. So yeah, let's go figure out what we're gonna do today. Hopefully I can get me some pancakes and figure out what to do with the next like 20 hours that I'm gonna be here. Guys, look how pretty the city looks with like the lights turned on and the sunset reflecting in the windows. It's so pretty. So yesterday I ended up having a pretty good day. I walked around the city for a little while. I ended up going to the mall. As you can see in some of those videos, that Lego store blew my mind. Like some of those structures were like 20 feet tall, and it looked like they were all made out of Legos, which is just like crazy. I don't know how long it took somebody to do that. Today is long. So this morning, I did not want to get out of bed. I was really tired. The coffee started to kick in, so I'm okay. We've done one leg. We've got 3 left to go. So it's a long duty day. But honestly, best case scenario, tomorrow is my last day on reserve. So best case scenario is we do this little turn we're about to do out of Chicago to Nashville. And then once we get back into Chicago, if there was any kind of delay, we would go illegal, and so then we would have to stay here and then just deadhead us tomorrow, which would be perfect for me because then that would mean they couldn't use me tomorrow, and then I could just go straight home whenever we got in from a deadhead. So I'm like kind of fingers crossing it that that's what happens. If not, whatever. I bid for a couple of trips tomorrow that are turns that would get in before 6 because there's a flight that leaves at 6:30 tomorrow to go home, so that would be perfect for me. So hopefully they give it to me. I had to waive some of my legalities in order for them to be able to assign it. Sometimes they waive them, sometimes they don't on reserve, so we'll see. But yeah, guys, we're on day 4 of 5 on reserve. So it's been a little chaotic, but we made it almost. Got one more day left, so hopefully everything goes smoothly from here on out. So we have a 2.5-hour sit in Chicago. So I went to Burrito Beach to get some dinner because I ran out of all my meals. All right, guys, we just got to Philly. We got in like 10 minutes early, I think. And I ended up bidding for a turn tomorrow so that I'll be able to, this is blocking my glasses, so that I'll be able to go home tomorrow, and so they wouldn't be able to call me and use me into one of my days off. It's not super common that they would use me into a day off, but it does happen, so I wanted to make sure that they didn't since I only have 2 days off anyways.
So I have a turn tomorrow for my last day on reserve. I'm doing a Fort Lauderdale turn, which just means I'm flying from Philly to Fort Lauderdale and then right back to Philly, and then we're done. So my sign-in tomorrow morning is at 7:50. So we leave at 8:50, and then we're supposed to get back at like 3. And so right now I'm scheduled on the 3:35 p.m. flight out of Philly to go home. So hopefully we land in enough time in Duplain for me to make it to that gate and go home tomorrow. But if not, there's a flight at 6:30 that I could take. So I'm about to go to the crew room. So I'm the only one over here, so I'm gonna take this off. So my foot is on fire. Yesterday when I was walking around the city, I was wearing shoes and the socks were like rubbing with the shoes, and I have a huge like blister on my heel where like my skin came off, which is really gross. I'm sorry that I'm giving you guys too much information, but I'm in so much pain, and my shoes, my flats were just like not helping, my heels were not helping, so my foot is just like throbbing right now. But I'm gonna go to the crew room, change it out of these clothes, and then maybe like watch something on my iPad on Netflix, and then go to bed so that I can get a decent amount of sleep for my turn tomorrow. But day 4 of reserve is done, and we got one more day left, and I'll have survived my first week back on reserve. All right guys, so today went by so fast. I did not have any time to update you guys. So this morning I got up, I got ready, got coffee, went on the plane, we worked the flight there, had a quick turn, came back. We ended up getting in 20 minutes early, so I was able to catch the earlier flight home at 3:30. So I got home at like 5:15, I think was when we landed. Packed up all my stuff at my mom's house, drove to my grandma's. So I'm off for the next 2 days. We made it through our first 5 days on reserve, and the first time in like a year, I think it's been, since I've been on reserve. So it's definitely more chaotic on reserve than on a line, but we made it. But look guys, I gotta show you this. Our pool got finished last week right before I left. We had a new liner put in, and it looks so good. You can't really tell right now because it's late, but there's little like gold flecks in it, so in the sun they shimmer, and it's really pretty. But yeah, after these 2 days I will go back on reserve for 3 days. So what my plan is to try to bid for a trip that signs in later, so I can leave in the morning, and then that gets done early enough to fly back that night, so that I don't have to spend any nights in the airport. But we will see what they give me, because we do have to serve 2 standbys in a month. So they may try to put me on standby, or they might wait till I go back on reserve for more days later in the month. But yeah, so that is a week on reserve for you. I don't know how I survived it. I don't know how I used to do that. I don't know how I did that for a year straight coming out of training. But yeah, that's all for this video. Thank you guys for watching. As always, if you have any questions, put them down below in the comments. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!